Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a piece of superhero lore that is absolutely wildly unique. And honestly, the stakes couldn't be higher. We're looking at this newly discovered, completely unedited text that outlines the birth of a multiversal task force. And let me tell you, it's raw, it is fast-paced, and it literally doesn't waste a single syllable. So we're going to break down the epic blockbuster narrative of Team MAREL. Let's just dive right into this universe.
Everything great begins with a singular, decisive vision. And this source material, it drops us right into the deep end with our protagonist and visionary founder, Tiger Man. He literally travels across dimensions, walks right up to an old ally, and delivers this line, "I am making a team called MAREL, and you want to join." I mean, wow. There is just this absolute cinematic sincerity to that proposition, right? No hesitation at all. Tiger Man isn't sitting around drafting proposals or waiting for some government committee approval. He sees a massive need in the multiverse, names the initiative on the spot, and just starts recruiting. It's this incredibly urgent call to action, and it totally sets the tone for the whole thing.
So what exactly is MAREL? Well, based on the text, we can define MAREL as a newly formed interdimensional superhero team. And guys, it is honestly mind-blowing how much world building happens right out of the gate here. Tiger Man doesn't just, call up a buddy down the street. The text explicitly states he's started to go to King Panther universe. This casually, and I mean so casually, establishes that we're dealing with a massive multiverse, where distinct heroes inhabit their very own specific universes. Tiger Man actually has the capability and apparently the authority to cross these dimensional boundaries just to put together an elite squad. We are quite literally witnessing the real-time inception of a multiversal defense force. And get this, the gathering of MAREL happens with just dizzying efficiency. Look at this timeline. In just minute 1, Tiger Man forms the idea. Boom. By minute 10, he's already in the King Panther universe and locks down his first recruit. 5 minutes later, minute 15, they fast travel over to the Dragon universe. I mean, they don't rest. They don't stop for coffee to celebrate. They have a roster to fill. And by minute 20, the fully assembled team arrives in the MAREL universe. It's an absolute blitz of interdimensional travel. It gives you this incredible sense of momentum, really pushing the narrative forward and proving that in this lore, action absolutely dictates everything. Now, you might be wondering why the Dragon universe. Well, they specifically targeted for a really crucial reason. Quote, because he newly became a superhero. I love this because it highlights such a relatable, classic superhero trope. Think about it. Tiger Man and King Panther, they're the veterans, right? These established allies. But to round out their trio, they actively go looking for the rookie. They want that raw, untapped power, a hero who is still kind of figuring out their place in the cosmos. And it only takes them a few minutes to actually locate him, which just goes to show how incredible these veterans' tracking skills are and how determined they are to bring this new powerhouse on board. And just like that, we've got our fully assembled triad. It's actually amazing how perfectly this trio mirrors the exact dynamic you find in all the great blockbuster epics. First, you've got Tiger Man, who is the visionary founder and the unquestioned driving force. Then there's King Panther, the incredibly loyal first recruit bringing that immediate solidarity. And finally, Dragon Man, the rookie who brings these completely new, explosive capabilities to the table. It's the classic formula, right? You need the strategist, the loyalist, and the wild card. They've built this perfectly balanced team that is 100% ready to face the unknown. But of course, whenever you get this many powerful individuals together in one place, you're bound to run into a little conflict of ego. Before they even step onto the battlefield, the internal hierarchy has to be sorted out. Dragon Man, even though he's the new guy, shows some real practicality here. He agrees to join, sure, but he immediately hits them with literally the most important question in any team dynamic. Who's actually in charge? It's a fascinating juxtaposition. You've got Dragon Man representing the cautious new blood, rightfully questioning the chain of command, up against Tiger Man, the experienced founder whose authority is suddenly being put to the test. So, how do they resolve this tension? Well, let me tell you, it is resolved with a level of narrative efficiency that is frankly a breath of fresh air. Dragon Man asks, "Who is captain?" And the text literally just says, "Tiger Man said I'm captain," and everyone said okay. And that's it. The conflict is entirely over. No drawn-out infighting, no multi-issue civil war arc, Tiger Man just asserts his leadership with total confidence, and the team instantly respects his authority. It's kind of hilarious, but it's also brilliant because it completely clears the deck. By squashing that internal team conflict right away, the plot pivots instantly to what really matters, the external threat. Marmel is unified, the captain is chosen, and they are good to go. Which brings us right to the climax of our explainer. The newly minted team travels to yet another new universe, the Marvel Universe, and things escalate immediately. I mean, there's no slow build-up here. It is an absolute ambush. The text tells us that suddenly 2 monsters and 2 big cores appear out of nowhere. Now, the introduction of these cores is a massive shift for the lore. We aren't just dealing with a couple of mindless beasts anymore. This implies a really complex, potentially mechanized or magical threat architecture. The stakes literally jump from 0 to 100 in a single sentence. The ink on their team alliance is barely dry, and boom, they are thrust straight into a life-or-death final boss battle. And this is exactly where the combat mechanics get just wildly inventive. Right as the battle kicks off, there's a huge complication. Dragon Man can't seem to transform. So what does the captain do? How on earth does Tiger Man activate his rookie's dormant power in the heat of battle? Well, quote, Tiger Man bit him, and he transformed. I know, right? This is such an incredibly raw, unconventional, and honestly creative mechanic. It implies this deep, symbiotic, almost primal connection between the team members. Tiger Man transfers energy, or maybe he just triggers some kind of extreme stress response through a physical bite, instantly unlocking Dragon Man's ultimate form. It's a totally unexpected twist that really shows how intertwined their abilities are. So, with Dragon Man finally transformed and ready, they take a second to analyze the battlefield. And it all comes down to the number 2. 2 monsters and 2 massive cores. The text reveals this brilliant piece of tactical logic here. The cores are essentially the main vulnerabilities. Think of them as mechanical lifelines connected directly to the master monsters. Our heroes quickly realize that if they can just destroy a core, the monster connected to it is going to fall right along with it. This completely elevates the brawl from just throwing punches into a real strategic puzzle. It's classic top-tier video game boss logic, but executed perfectly within the narrative. Recognizing exactly how the enemy works, the team quickly formulates a plan. And honestly, this is what brilliantly illustrates exactly why Tiger Man is the captain. The strategy is broken down into precise steps. Step 1. Tiger Man and King Panther charge in for close quarters combat, acting as the vanguard to distract and beat down the masters. Step 2. While the enemies are distracted by that, Dragon Man capitalizes on his newly activated transformation. He steps back to, quote, shoot fireballs, laying down heavy artillery support. And finally, step 3. This coordinated, combined assault allows them to successfully target and destroy those cores. Every single member uses their specific skill set in absolute perfect harmony to exploit the enemy's weakness. And, as you'd hope, the execution of this plan is an overwhelming success. Through their perfectly coordinated attack, the team successfully kills the monsters and destroys the cores once and for all. Think about this. In a matter of just minutes, Tiger Man has gone from a solo hero with an idea to the leader of a victorious, multiverse-defending coalition. They face down a highly complex, multi-layered threat in a brand new universe, and they completely dismantled it using trust, strategy, and just immense power. This decisive victory permanently cements MRL's legacy. They aren't just some rough idea anymore. They are a proven, battle-tested reality, standing as the ultimate guardians across dimensions. But of course, in a multiverse this incredibly vast, the defeat of one enemy usually just paves the way for the next one, right? The core masters might be destroyed, and Tiger Man, King Panther, and Dragon Man have definitely solidified their team dynamic. But it really leaves you wondering, what interdimensional threats is Team Marvel going to have to face next? Who else is even out there in this crazy cosmos? This brilliant lightning-fast text leaves us completely hooked and so eager for the next chapter of this newly discovered cinematic universe. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep analyzing, keep exploring, and I'll catch you next time.